Yo, what's going on, Xbox and YouTube? Now, welcome to my first Forza Horizon 4 video for you guys. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my favorite cars for A-Class, S1 Class, and S2 Class in street races and in dirt races. So without saying too much more, let's jump into the first car. Here we go. Alright guys, the first car is our 1970 Ford Mustang. Now this makes a great A-Class car. As you can tell, we are already crushing them in the race. I've already won several races in Online Adventure using this 1970 Ford Mustang. We've actually created this car during a live stream in the past week, and it is an amazing car, and it almost has too much speed for its own good. I actually had to knock this car down a few speed bumps just so we could get some handling back into the car. But other than that, this car is pretty much an awesome car straight out of the box without having to do any tuning to it at all. But if you want to get that extra handling and that extra horsepower and speed out of the car, I would recommend playing with the final drive, the downforce, and the differential on this car. As always guys, I will not be giving you guys the secrets to my tunes, but I'm pretty sure most of you guys can figure this car out and make a really good car for yourselves, if not better than the setup I have right here. So the 1970 Ford Mustang is a great A-Class car. Make sure to get yourself one, and they're not too expensive either. It's one of the cheaper cars in the game, so most people should be able to grab this car right away. And as you guys can see, the 1970 Ford Mustang is a pretty good drift car too. One thing you guys will find out as time goes on is you'll want to disable traction control for most of your cars. I have discovered that TCR, when enabled on most cars, tends to make them slow down quite a bit around cornering, and it makes the car actually feel really stiff when trying to drift. I have found with experience that disabling TCR will make your car actually handle a lot more like Forza Horizon 3. Which is always a good thing because it's a really hard thing to transition from FH3 to FH4. And the 1970 Ford Mustang seems to be doing a really good job at helping me transfer from FH3 to the new Forza Horizon 4. But like I was saying guys, make sure you turn off traction control and you will find yourself having more control. So what do you guys think about the 1970 Ford Mustang? Will it be a pick for you guys, or have you guys found something better? Let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, now keeping it with the 1970s, we have the 1970 Datsun 510. Now this makes a great beginner A-Class dirt car. Might be one of the best dirt cars out there. It has insane handling, and you are able to put the rally tires on this while keeping the speed. One of my favorite parts about the car. And as you guys can see just by watching the gameplay, it has insane acceleration, great control when you are off-road with it, and it just blows the competition straight out of the water. And once again, it is a fairly cheap car, so most of you guys can get your hands on this right away. Now, as far as tuning for this car, I have not really played with any of the tuning, so this car is literally amazing straight out of the box. As long as you apply the right upgrades to the car, you will have a really gnarly balanced A-Class dirt rider. Now, this car is lifted and it does have the rally tires on it, and finding the configuration for the right upgrades for this car took me a little while, so with this car it might be a little difficult getting the upgrades just right. But once you do get the upgrades just right in this car, as you can see, we have no problem taking first place. And in Online Adventure, we have no problems taking first place 9 out of 10 times with this car. It is also a great drifter when it comes to dirt. I will not say it's a great drifter on street, but it can slide around the corners very nicely, as you guys can see. It is once again a fairly cheap car, and it just completely blows the competition that I have seen out of the water. Once again, disabling TCR in this car will help greatly with your cornering and maintaining your speed around corners. It does seem like a lot of cars feel a lot better with TCR disabled. And with this car coming in at $25,000, most of you guys should be able to pick this up and make a really good A-Class dirt rider. You might even be able to squeeze out a S1 class out of this car if you get the right setup. But in my opinion, it makes the best dirt rider in A class. So make sure to check this car out and tell me what you guys think in the comments of the 1975 10 Datsun. And we'll be moving on to S1 class now. All right, guys, starting off for S1, we have the 911 GT3 RS 4.0 2012 Porsche. Now, this car is a amazing S1 car, as you guys can already see by the gameplay. This car has amazing speed and overall the best handling I have seen in a car flat out in the entire game, aside from one other car, and that car is coming up next. But this car is killer when it comes to street races. It has great acceleration. And like I was saying, amazing control, once again, made better with TCR disabled. It has great drifting. It could use a little bit more acceleration, but we are still working on the tune for this car. This car will take you a little bit more time to squeeze out the best acceleration, speed, and handling, but it does seem like it is totally worth giving it a shot because straight out of the box, this car does amazing. We've only tweaked a few different things in this car, such as the differential and a few final drive settings. And as you guys can tell, we are already crushing it. I have won race after race after race using this car in online adventures, so I can vouch for the fact that it is quite fast and a lot faster than what most people have set up as of today. This might not be the best car in the very near future, but as it stands today, this car is still receiving W's in online adventure, and I will continue to race it and tune it until we no longer can win races. But I do not see that being an issue, and this car comes in a little bit more pricey than most, coming in at 2,000 credits. So it might take you a few races to get this car, and not to mention you probably have to drop another 200,000 in credits just to get the upgrades that you really want for this car to make it right. One thing that you will want to do right away is put some tires on it and put a wing on it, so that way you can get your control and your downforce on this car. One thing this car does excel with is once you get past a certain threshold, somewhere around 170 to 200 miles an hour, this car is completely glued to the ground, at least if you know how to drive. I'm not claiming I'm the best at FH4 yet, but we are certainly on the way to becoming the best at FH4. And as you can tell, it is an amazing drifter car, and I have had tons of fun figuring out how to drift in this car. Actually, one of the best drifting cars I have. This is the one that I started with, so I'm actually the most comfortable with this car out of them all. But it definitely makes a great S1 street race car, a great S1 road race car, and if you really had to use it, it could probably make a good off-road S1 car, although I would not recommend that. But that is the 911 GT3 RS 4.0 2012 Porsche. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments, and if you have anything that you can offer as far as maybe tuning, or if there's something that you see that I am doing wrong, please let me know, and let me know if you guys have picked up one of these Porsches, because it is absolutely amazing. I will say the entire line of Porsche cars in this game are quite good, and there's a nice well-rounded category from off-road to street to rally. So make sure to check out Porsche, but I would definitely have to say this is the best Porsche car in the lineup so far. So please tell me what you guys think, and as you can see, we got another W, and we'll be moving on to S1 off-road right now. See you there. All right, guys, coming in for S1 Dirt, we have the VW Rally Car Beetle. Now, this car is an absolute monster, almost right out of the box. Now, I will say one thing you have to do to this car to get it going really well is mess around with the final drive. Now, once again, I'm not going to tell you which way to bring it, but let's just say it took me about 5 minutes to get this car to the level that it's at right now, and it's damn near unbeatable. It has amazing control off-road and on-road. This car can be used for pretty much anything. And as you guys can tell already, we are already killing it. And not to mention, this car sounds absolutely amazing. But like I said, you do not have to do very much to this car to get it to become a monster rally car. Hence the name. It actually is in the monster rally section. Now, this car is a little bit more expensive, coming in at $500,000. And not to mention, you will have to throw about another $250,000 to $300,000 in upgrades to the car to get it to S1 or get it to this level of S1, but couldn't be happier with this car. Easily one of the easiest setups I've done yet, and it made it really fun transitioning from FH3 to FH4 because this was one of my first cars. Now, like I said, it is a little bit more expensive, but it's totally worth the money. Most of the Rally Monster cars are actually completely amazing, just like this one, but the VW Beetle definitely takes the gold in my opinion. And there's really nothing bad to say about this car. There's great handling, great control, awesome cornering, great acceleration. The only bad thing I would say is I can only get a top speed of around 174 miles an hour. But in rally races, most of the time, 174 miles an hour is plenty of speed. You'll rarely find yourself maxing out above 150. The only time people can beat you is on straightaways, which, as you can see right here, this would be the only time people can catch up to you, assuming that you start to max out your speed. But the gearing on this car is absolutely insane, and I could not be happier with the VW rally car. And you guys should definitely pick this car up for a first rally car or even a drift car. And please let me know if you guys will be picking up one of the VW rally car Beetles for your first rally car, or if you even find it to be interesting at all. This is definitely one of my favorite cars, and once again made better with traction control disabled. But now with that being said, on to the final two cars, our S2 Street and our S2 Rally cars. So we'll see you guys there. Alright guys, now you already know it. Starting with S2 Street cars, we have the 2018 Bugatti Chiron. Now, this is one of the most anticipated cars of the game, I would argue, and for a very good reason. It is an incredibly fast car, almost too fast, but it's nothing like the Bugatti Veyron in FH3, where it's so fast that you can't even control it. This car does really good in S2 races, and I've enjoyed winning online adventure 9 out of 10 times in the Bugatti Chiron. I've been racing it all day. It does need a lot of tuning work to get this power under control, but once you start to get it under control, the car starts to feel amazing. I am still about halfway through tuning this car, but it already is doing a great job, receiving W's online, and just overall tons of fun to drive. Now, this car does come in really expensive at 2.4 million credits. So this car will take you some time to get. This was one of the final cars that I've gotten in the past week or so of playing FH4, and it definitely took me quite a while to reach $2.4 million and to have extra money left over to tune and upgrade this vehicle. But so far, I am nothing less than completely happy and ecstatic that they finally put the Chiron into a game. I believe this is the first game that has the Bugatti Chiron. I could be wrong on that, but I totally love this car. As you guys can see, it struggles a little bit around corners, but that is mainly due to its insane horsepower and just torque at the wheels. But like I said, this will take you guys some time to get the tuning right. It is still taking me some time, but as it sits, this car is doing absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to see how much better I can get this car in the next coming weeks. But like I said, guys, you should definitely pick one of these up, but it's coming in at 2.4 million. This one might take you a while, but it's totally worth it, and I would definitely pick this over any of the McLarens or anything like that, at least for a first pick. But overall, really good car. Nothing too bad to say about it, other than it has so much power that it's going to take you time to tune the car. But I really do dig this car, and we're going to be moving on to the S2 Dirt. So we'll see you guys there. Alright guys, and for our final car, we have the S2 Lamborghini 2014 Uranus Concept. And as you guys can tell already, this car is an absolute monster. It literally looks like a monster. The tires on this thing are wider than I've ever seen in any car, not to mention how gorgeous that wide body looks. And this car absolutely destroys any S2 off-road race. Now, if you have a mixed surface race, this car will struggle to win, but if it's a completely off-road race, you will never, ever have a problem beating everybody else in the lobby. This car is only around a 9.7 in S2, so it's not completely maxed out, but it completely kills it when it comes to traction, speed, and handling on off-road courses. Now this car is a little bit more pricey, coming in at 230,000 credits in the game, not to mention dropping another 200,000 to 300,000 for the upgrades and the wide body kit that makes this car look so spectacular. The Lamborghini Uranus is also made better with traction control disabled, as always, guys. And one thing that you will struggle with in this car is trying to maintain control at super high speeds while off-road. Now, I would say that's a problem with pretty much any car when you're going over 150 miles an hour through a field. But as long as you keep your car and its speed under control, you should have no problem. Like, I almost missed that checkpoint right there. It's almost too fast for its own good when it comes to off-road, and that's never a bad thing. You just have to learn how to drive it and maintain its control. But once you do that, it took me a very short amount of time to do so. This car is completely unbeatable. I've enjoyed receiving tons of W's with this car as well. So definitely a good pickup for this car. It isn't too expensive, so this car should not take you guys too long. But it is definitely my favorite off-road car in S2 as of today. But with that being said, guys, I really do hope I've opened your perspective on Forza Horizon 4 and some of the cars that you can pick for a good beginner car or a car that you're looking to crush people in online. And if there's any cars that I may have missed or cars that you want to see in future videos or cars that you are using now that you think are better than the cars I picked, please let me know in the comments below. And we'll see you guys on the next stream, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.